Okay. You must make not the barcode readable. So this is a pack of noodles. You're not going to sell this on Amazon, but I have to go like this, and I have to cover up the barcode or obscure it enough so it's not readable. Okay, when you're putting on your labels. Okay, if you don't have, if the label's not big enough, you can always use an extra piece of white label. Okay. You must weigh your boxes for shipping, so you have to have some sort of scale at home, because when you have all your items, you have to weigh them in the box. And say, Amazon, I'm sending a 30-pound box, I'm sending a 10-pound box. You don't necessarily have to put the dimensions of the box, but you need to know the shipping weights. If you're sending to the US, every product that I put in the box has to be manifested. So if I have 20 packs of noodles that are this kind, and 20 packs that are chicken, and 20 packs of beef, I have to write it and make sure I let Amazon know when they open this box, it needs to be, those items need to be in there. And if I have box 2, it's different items. Canada, they don't care. You just throw your stuff in the box, send it in, tell them the weights. So another thing that you might come up is when you're trying to sell, I don't think this item is restricted though, when you add to your site, it says you can't sell this item, it's restricted, you can't do that. Now in Amazon, they only show you in the shipping part. It doesn't always, it used to say in your account, it used to say inactive, and it said you had a thing that you couldn't, like, didn't have anything under that, meant you can't sell it. Now a lot more products, you have to add to the actual shipping plan first to see if you can sell it. So if you're gonna buy something, let's say 10 units, and it's like some of your first items, you might want to check by adding it to a shipping plan first, and make sure it doesn't say you can't send this season in, this season's not allowed, season's hazardous, all that stuff before you buy too much when you're first starting. You must do all the prep that Amazon lists. So if they ask you to bubble wrap a package, you have to bubble wrap it or pay them. If they ask you to poly bag, you have to poly bag. So this is an example of a sealable poly bag. What I would do is put my noodles in here. This bag is too big, okay? And you'd fold it over like this and you'd seal it. I'm not gonna seal it right now, but that's what you would do. Okay, you want to get more proper bags. Usually you can buy bags off Amazon, you can buy them at Uline in big quantities, or you can buy them off eBay. So you notice that this bag has 3 warnings on it: English, French, and Spanish. Spanish is, this is just the way they sound when you buy them. Okay. Polybag requirements. So in Canada, they must have English and French. In the US, it's only English. In the US, there's more requirements based on the size of the opening. It goes up in font size based on how big this has to be. So the bigger size this is, the bigger the font has to be in the US. In Canada, they're not as restrictive. Okay. So if I'm putting 2 items in a bag, like this, what I would do is I put the UPCs back to back. So these are the UPCs. I put them back to back, so Amazon can't scan the UPC and thinks it's a single item. You put it in the bag. You put it in the bag, and then you put a sticker on it that says sold as a set. And if the item is a grocery item, it has an expiry date, so you have to also put the expiry on here too. And you already have the child suffocation warning on the bag. Okay? Bubble wrap. So it's supposed to survive a 6-foot drop test. I personally use like 1-inch thick bubbles because it usually survives every drop test unless it's like a pure glass thing. Okay?
Where do you buy these? In general on Amazon?
Like
bubbles? The
bubble wrap?
Yeah.
I buy it in a roll
Like,
the size of me.
Gotcha, yeah.
$1
Yeah.
But you don't get as thick.
Yeah, I've done wrap a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
doing a lot, then I'll
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you can also get Dollarama. You can go order
Okay.
from Staples, eBay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend Amazon because the box is going to be like,
Like big.
but eBay and Staples. So like, and if I have a product that expires in March and expires in, the other one expires in April, I have to put the expiry date for the newest product on the box. Okay? I can't put the older one or guess in between. It has to be the newest product in the bundle. So labels can be either in, these are thermal labels here. So this is from a dynamo, or they can be on a, they can be on a sheet like this. This is an Avery 5160 or 8160. These are not these kind of jam up sometimes in your LaserJet printer though. That's why I went away from them, but if you're first starting, you can use these.
30 labels per sheet?
Sorry?
After
This is the 30 up.
30.
So that's the 30 up. It's a
Yeah.
little thick. And sometimes they get caught like in all my LaserJets, they usually get caught now.
Ken, just have a quick question on the suffocation warning. So, because I was thinking about sending some of my products from the States to here,
Yes.
but it doesn't have it in French, so
Yes.
I'm going to be in trouble. Yeah?
I'm going to tell you, a lot of private label sellers don't do French in Canada, but it's against the rules. All my removal orders in Canada from all the U.S. private labelers that do in both countries, you don't have English. But it's against the rules. You can get in trouble, but no one ever, they don't really hit on it hard, is what
Yeah.
I'll say.
So I think I bought a bunch of stuff from Amazon.ca.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't think there was any French on it.
Yeah. But if you actually read the links that I posted, it'll say French, but no one actually does it, and they don't enforce it. But in case they do, and that's why I'm going to make sure that we have both on there. They don't really enforce that rule that much.
Thanks.
So, make sure that you have your bathroom scale, or you get a shipping scale. You can buy a bunch. Usually, I've bought a couple to use and bought a couple for other people too, and they sell between 25 and like $60, and you can get a big, like a decent sized shipping scale that has an external like display, so you don't have to like guess eventually. Okay. Another thing to know is your boxes are supposed to be under 50 pounds in any country. Unless you have an item that weighs like close to 50 pounds, and your boxes must be, this is not in the presentation, but they must be less than 24 inches in one side of the box. So 24 by 24 is allowed, but if you go to 25, you have to have a reason for that box being bigger. If you have an oversized item, that's allowed, like it you have to need the box, or you can get in trouble at Amazon. So I was saying the AV160 Dynamo printer is what I use personally. It's this little black printer like this, never needs ink. You just put the labels in, it does it up, jams up very little. There's also a Zebra, and if you don't want to label yourself, you can always get Amazon to do it, but it's 20 cents a label. And the one thing to know about that is, let's say you listed these noodles, and this barcode is not the same as the listing on Amazon, they might not know what to do with it. And they're not going to call you for help, they're just going to be like stranded inventory. Okay, that's the only thing with dealing with Amazon. Sometimes they just do what they want, or they won't put it like, they won't be able to figure things out as like a prep center would. Okay, there's 8 active prep centers in Canada too. Shipping labels. So I had to cut one up here because I didn't have one of my own. So this is what a shipping label looks like. Basically, one side is for your carrier, UPS, and the other side's for Amazon. So you can either tape this on the box like this, or you can print it off as a sticker. The fastest way, easiest way, is tape it on the box. Don't worry about stickers, because the Dynamo bigger printer costs a lot of money, and I just still tape these on myself. So cheapest is obviously a piece of paper, and you put tape on it. Dynamo XL, it's a 4 inch by 6 inch, and it'll print off both sides. And you'd have to paste both on. So prep steps. Number 1 is you have to buy your product. Number 2 is you have to get it delivered or pick up. Number 3 is you spread it across the table. So I would take, I don't have many products with me, but what I would do is set them out, and I'm putting the barcode up. And I'm also looking at the expiry dates too. Because once I prep them like this, I can quickly label them. If I'm just throwing them on a table like that, it makes it harder, or maybe they're like this. You might as well just set them up the right way and give yourself a big enough space to work, and then they're all labeled and ready to go. Okay? So I take an inventory. So I do this digitally now, but I used to use this on paper. So I'd write how much I have, item name. This columns I kind of use for expiry dates or other info, and this final column here, even though you might not record it, but I like to know what did I have to do to prep this item? So in the future, I know I can add that to my cost. If this cost me a 25-cent bubble bag, I want to make sure I know that in my costs and know it for the future when I'm doing it, okay? So you manifest your items somehow. You create a shipping plan. I tell Amazon, listen, I'm sending in 3 packs of noodles. Okay, and then you start with the couple shipping plan steps. And then you'd verify, then you'd label all your items. So I'd print off my stickers or whatever, label all my stickers on these items. Then I would just verify that all my items that I took out are labeled. So let's say this guy wasn't labeled. I'd either re-add them to the start, re-add them to the shipping plan, or just leave them out and just ship these to him. Okay? Then I'd approve the shipping plan because so now it's for 2 noodles. Then I'd send it in, and it's going to tell me to send to Canada or the US. And I can talk more another time, I guess, about the US shipping because it gets really complicated really fast in Canada. And make sure that's understood because I want to make sure the students have time. So we'd send these in. I weigh this up. We'll say that weighs 1 pound. Then I'd go back and say I'm sending in this box. First 1 box I'm sending in, 1 pound, send it into Amazon. Then I'd print out the shipping label like this. I'll print out this thing. It's gonna look a lot nicer, but just print it off, put it on the box. If I have to fold it around, that's okay too. But you don't want to put your fold marks around the barcodes. You want to fold around your other items because the barcodes need to be scannable on a straight surface. Then you input the weights in Amazon, print out schedule, then you call UPS to pick up or you talk to whoever you're doing to pick it up. And that's basically it. So let's make sure. One other tip, when you get more advanced, you can get this. It has a clamp. So if you're taping lots of things together, it works faster than trying to go like this. Then try to go like this and tape 1 by 1. This will sit on your desk or clamp to anything you want. And make sure your poly bags, and sometimes you're going to get, like this is an item I received today. It's fully sealed, but there's nothing in it. Okay? So this happens. You just have to, you know what's going to happen, you get your money back. Okay? There's no Mars bars in there. And for this item here, for example, only the expiry date was on the original packaging. On the sub-packaging, it says to refer to the main packaging. So I have to label each one of these with the expiry date. Okay? Does anyone have any questions?
So how do you find out that you need a suffocation badge or suffocation warning?
Whenever you use a poly bag, you have to put a suffocation warning on it.
Okay, and when do you know that you need a
In step 2 of the shipping process. It'll say this item needs to be poly bagged. Or if you're doing a bundle, it's suggested that you use a poly bag because that's how you can group it together instead of saran wrapping it.
That's good.
Yes?
How much data per item?
It depends on what you need done. So example, if I'm prepping an item, what I do is I don't have a flat fee like a lot of other prep centers do. So a lot of prep centers will charge $1 per item and do whatever you need. I charge 20 cents for the initial label, and if you need more, you need more. If you don't, you don't. And then I charge for the shipping boxes, and there's an extra cost for, I wear a camera I forgot to bring today when I do my boxing. So I usually charge $2 a shipment because I like to record what's happening in the box. Because when you go to Amazon, you have to open cases, you can be like, this is what I put in the box. Here's a video of it. Here's me packing the box so it looks like it's good. It's because sometimes they'll say you destroyed the box, you didn't pack properly. It solves a lot of those problems. So 20 cents per item. If you need extra stuff that costs more, $2 for the head thing, and like a $2 if I have to set it's $2 shipping plan to $4 to shipment. $2 to $4 a shipment. We can talk about more of that after. If you want. Who's next? Yes, sir.
For whom are buying from China and shipping to the States directly, how do they do the labeling? They talk to the manufacturer? Or?
So what'll happen is they'll give you the specs of the box and the weights. You'll go into Amazon or you're giving them access, which I probably would recommend China. And then you give them these labels and they put them on the box for you. Or they do a pallet manifest.
To the manufacturer, and then
Yes,
they
you
ship
have
it.
to give this to them.
Yeah.
You physically have to give them this.
I have to do
Usually.
this. Okay.
You don't want to give them access to your Amazon account in China, I don't think.
So basically, you want to give them two labels. One of them are called FNSQ label. They go on the products. So you can print them off Seller Central, and the next labels are the shipping labels.
So these what they put.
These ones.
So this is an FNSQ label. It usually starts with the letter X. So this is an FNSQ. If I was selling on Amazon, yeah. So this label is only good for one person. So if I give this to him to send in, it's not going to do anything. It's only good for me. This is my number for my item.
It's only one time use.
Yeah.
right?
No. I can use it 100 times.
Oh, okay.
It's you get one of these per item per SKU that you create under that item. Okay. So this will be your. If you have a hot sign product sell 1,000 a month, you always have the same FNSQ. That's why some people will incorporate this in their packaging when they're doing their design, because you can have the same FNSQ across multiple
Unique
countries.
number.
I think to answer your question, when you have your product ready and you work on your shipping plan on Amazon, it will allow you to print the what do you call this label? ESIN number, right? Not ESIN, but the FNSQ, right? And then you just you send that email to your supplier, and you can have them just label. Like they'll just put the sticker themselves. And the same as the packing slip, the one thing that Ken was talking about. Once you finish your shipping plan, you're gonna have this whole big page of something that you can print, but you can just send that PDF to your supplier. Yeah.
It also looks different if you're shipping pallets. Okay. There's different ways it looks too. Okay?
If the shipment's coming from China, then on the shipping label there will be some things written in Chinese as well, and those labels, they look different than these ones because that's an international shipping. These are for local shipping only.
There's a whole list of requirements you need on every box shipping from China. Like
And
weights and
whatever,
ways of made
whatever
and
you
stuff.
buy, China, Taiwan, whatever, like it would go to Amazon in one box or multiple boxes.
Multiple boxes. You can have maximum.
Depends on the maximum.
Yeah, so you're allowed maximum 50
Square foot.
pounds or 150 items per box. So I had a person that tried to ship 600 items and I told her not to do that. They're gonna lose their mind there.
Hmm.
In one box that weighed like 22 pounds.
Maybe it's same happens.
No, you want only 150, multiple boxes. Also, that's the. Yes.
Can you talk about how to estimate your shipping cost per pound?
So for Canada, I would say 25 cents to $1, depending on the size of the item. If it's a big, like if you have a giant Lego set and it doesn't weigh very much, it's going to cost more because it's taking more box space. 25 cents to $1. So if you go like 50 cents to 75 cents, you're usually pretty good. But it can get as low as 25. And you don't want to ship in, like, you don't want to ship in like 3 items at a time. You want to ship in like 100. Okay.
Save money.
Any more questions? Yes, sir.
How about like shipping to the US, like how much more would that cost if you're sending to the US?
So, right now we use, in Edmonton, we use DYK Post, and there's a charge per weight per item. So, a 50-pound box costs, I think it's $20 to ship. And then you use the local, so it's $20 plus 3% plus 5% plus $1.50. It's a little complicated. And then they use the local shipping. So then they use the local Amazon shipping after that. So it can add up cost quite a bit, but usually most stuff we're shipping across the border, we're making money because Canadian dollar is worth a lot less. So I might be sourcing something for 10 here, selling it for 20 in the US, and those extra shipping fees, make money.
So where would you be sending it to, like the US perhaps?
No, what happens is we would print out the labels for all the prep centers that you want to send to. So let's say you made a shipment of 500 items, and it picks 6 prep centers to send to. We would label each item individually, then label all the boxes where you want to send it. Because you don't want to do inventory placement service, it costs too much. and it's not efficient, and then your stuff's still gonna be transferred anyway. So out of Edmonton, we go to Juliet, is the main center we go to, is the main center for a lot of stuff. But if you do some manipulation, you can get to other places too. Does anyone have any more prep questions? You can always come to me later and ask me, or email me,
How can we contact you?
ken@ygprep.com. It's also,
Okay,
yeah.
There is another question.
Yes, sir.
Do the limits apply when you're shipping from Canada as well? Sorry, from China as well? So like if you're doing PL, do you also do like 50 pounds maximum? Yeah.
Unless you're doing pallets.
Okay.
You're allowed to go bigger on pallets. I think it's up to 1,500 if I'm right. 1,500? 1,500. But you have to manifest the pallet a certain way. There's rules about that. Any more? YEGprep.com, and my name is Ken. Yeah, so you can email me. Also remember the link, I'll put it up in the group as well, was bit.ly/Ken